To all my CIS100 students. Today we want to take a stab at solving the 2011 past paper question that we are seeing here before us. That's for the spreadsheet component of CIS100. And this question asks us to build this table in Excel and to do some calculations along with formatting. We are supposed to use formulas to calculate the total monthly sales. That's these three values here. The highest monthly sales, the three values here, along with the total cases sold for each quarter right here. And finally, we are asked to calculate the total profit for each soft drink, and that is in this column. In addition to that, we need to do some formatting, that's font, and they also ask us to shade. We are going to begin, so let me take you to the table that I took liberty to build by simply typing in the values here. But if you notice, we have some formatting issue. Number one, if you look at this column heading, you are not seeing all the text. So the cell needs to be widened. The heading, along with the content, are all of the same font style and font size. And that's not really good for formatting. So let's try to see if we could resize the cells. So if we go between any column and we double click, as I just did, you notice that the cell stretched to fit the text that was in it. So let's do that for the others. Hold your mouse over between the columns and you double click. You notice when we double click in this, the cell got very wide, and that is because the column got very wide because the value in the first cell is for the table header. And we can fix that by doing two things. First, we just simply put our cursor between columns A and B and drag to the left until we just about where figure is. And that is going to resize the text. But what we want to do is to make this the table heading or table title. To do this, we are going to select all the cells from A1. We are in cell A1 here to G1. So this is cell G1 here. So we start cell A1, we click in cell A1 and we drag all the way across to G1. Once we've done that, we go to the merge and center button. So we no longer have individual cells here. Instead, we have a single cell at the top, which is better for the table heading. What we need to do now is to make the text stand out because it looks just like any other text. We need it to look like a heading, like a headline. So I'm going to try American typewriter. I'm not sure. Oh no, let me not try that. I will select a safe text, which I'm sure everybody would have on their computer. So we're going to move from Calibri to Arial. And we are going to make it size 14 because it's a heading, headline, so to speak. And we are going to make it bold. So Jimmy's Super Deal Supermarket 2010. First quarter sales for soft drink. Beautiful. It does look like a headline now. And for these individual column headings, what we need to do is just simply make them bold. Right, so we're getting there. So our table heading stands out, column heading stands out, but we just need to make them stand out a bit more by shading them, and we go up to the fill tool, we click the drop down button, and we will fill them with probably a light gray, background 15, yeah, background 15 will do. So beautiful. So they do stand out. However, we cannot see the distinction between each column now. So we need to put some borders on our cells for this table To do so, click anywhere in the table that you would have values and press Command A if you're on a Mac, Control A if you're on a Windows computer, and the entire table will be selected. So we need to put borders around all of these cells. We will do that by simply clicking the drop down and selecting all borders. Right, so we now have our table defined. Most of our formatting is in place. And it's now easier to work with the table because we have all the spaces identified. So I will tell you, if you are doing an exercise like this, it's better to format by resizing and so on first so that you know where you are working. Let's go back to our calculations. We are going to set up our formulas now. We need to calculate total monthly sales. That's down here. This was January, February, and March. So we are going to go back to the table, select the total monthly sales for January, and we are going to look for the sum button that will display a few of the functions that Excel has, the common function. And we are going to click the drop down button on the side of it and select sum, so that you want to select that sum. Right, so we get this. What is this asking? First of all, you notice all of the cells above the ones that the value is in are selected, and there's what is called a matching answer around them. So we see this statement. It's saying, do you want me to sum the values from B3 to B6? What does that mean? This is column B, row 3, so that is B3, and this is column B, and this is row 6. And that is exactly what we want to do. We want to sum all of these values. So we click enter. Voila, and Excel has done the hard work for us. We could do the same thing here, but Excel has a couple of tools that is going to make it even easier and quicker for us to have these values here. The first we are going to do is simply the autofill. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of the selected cell, you will see this little square. If you place your cursor over it, you are going to get the autofill handle, which is a black cross. All you have to do is click and drag across. So if let's just see what these cells are saying. This asks us to sum B1 to B3. This should ask us if we want to sum C3 to C6. This should ask us if we want to sum D3 to D6. All right, so I modeled up. I said C1 to C6 is actually B1 to B3 to B6 here. All right, so these values are correct. So we have finished calculating or using formulas to calculate. And if you're following along the tutorial, I would ask you to save your work. Let's look at our next calculation. We need to calculate the highest sales figure, and that is here. So we need to calculate the highest sales between these, and the highest sale is 8, but we cannot type 8. We are supposed to use a formula to do that. And Excel has a special formula for that. So highest sales goes here. We go back to that function button here, and we select max, which is going to give us the maximum value for a selected range of cells. So we click it, and we read. This is asking us to calculate the maximum value between cells B3 to B7. But there's a catch. Cell B7 isn't a sale for a particular soft drink. It's a sale for all the soft drinks. So we cannot use that because we want the sale for the individual soft drink. The sale for the individual soft drink should be in cell B6. So all we do is put our cursor by the 7 delete it, and press 6. And you notice once we've done that, total monthly sales is omitted. If we press enter, now we get 8, which is the highest value. Okay, so we almost finished with this calculation. I'm going to show you another way of quickly calculating the same values for cells. So this is the max value we could autofill here and get the correct answer. Let me drag this back. You can also copy. So if you press Control C on your keyboard when you're in a cell with a formula and select where you want that formula to be copied to and press Control V or Command V, the formula would be pasted. Notice that this value here is 8, but this is 14. Even if we copied it, we did not copy the value, we copied the formula. So this formula says max B3 to B6. This should say max C3 to C6. And this should say max D3 to D6. Right. So we are finished calculating maximum values. The next thing we have to do is calculate the total profit for total cases sold for each quarter. That is here. And all we need to do is just simply add these values across. So let's go and do that in our Excel table. And it's basically the same thing that we did here. So we just need to go and ask it to sum some values first, and automatically Excel recognizes no, if values are to the left, and it is asking us, this is what you want us to do? And happily I will say yes, because that's exactly what I want to do. So here we have the value here. I'm not going to cut and paste because autofill does work faster. So coming down right down to, we could do for everything here. So we know we had these, the individual soft drink and the total sales for all of the soft drinks. Right, so we are finished with total sales. Right, we need to calculate the total profit. We could calculate the total profit by multiplying this cell, which is the number of cases sold, by the profit for each case. Excel has a function called product to do that, but I would like us to do a little experiment. Instead of using a built-in formula, we are going to do a manual formula. All we have to do is multiply this by this. And to insert a manual formula or function, you must press equal on the keyboard. Click the cell that you want to use. So this is E3. We want to multiply E3 by F3. So we have to click the asterisk, which is a multiplication sign for a computer. If you don't have a numerical keyboard, that will be Shift 8. If you have a numerical keypad, then you simply press the multiplication sign on it. So this is E3, and then you click F3. So you are saying the value in this cell should be E3 multiplied by F3. Press enter at 85, and we are going to autofill all the way down to gate 8. Now we notice that gate 8 did not make a profit. All this is saying is that they were probably selling the gate 8 at cost price. So there was a zero profit there. So we have the total profit for each source. However, we need to do some formatting here. Right. If you notice, this is unit profit. Unit profit would be in dollars. Total profit would be in dollars also. So we need to format these cells to reflect monetary value. So we go up to the number section here and we select OK. If your computer is set up to Trinidad and Tobago, you will see TT dollars. Since that is not there, I'll just use the generic dollar sign by clicking on United States English. So all of these now are formatted to money. Right, so this is total cases. All of these here are just numbers. What we can probably do also is center these values. They probably look better. Let me see how that looks. We select everything here and click center. I don't know if it looks better, but I'm going to leave it. Right, so we have done all the calculations, but there is something they ask us to do, that the cells, let's go back here. The cells that have calculation in them must be shaded. So we need to go back here, select these, because this whole cells, the monthly sales and the high sales figures are all calculated by a formula. And we probably fill them with a little light green color. We also calculated the total quarterly sales. We could fill that with light green. We did also total profit, and we will also do fill with light green. All right, so we have done all our calculations, and what we need to do now is insert two graphs. The first is we need to insert a column chart showing the total quarterly sales for each type of soft drink. All right, so this is the soft drink here, total quarterly sales. Okay, we notice that, well, since we bolded it, some of it is hidden, so we just go here and we double click for each quarter. Right, beautiful. So we come back here, we select all the way down to Gatorade. And we need to select this also, but if we use the shift key, if we just drag across, it's going to select everything between. We don't want that. What you need to do is hold down the control key if you're on a Windows computer, the command key if you're on a Mac, and we come across to the total cases sold for each quarter, and we drag down to Gatorade. If you are on a Windows computer, you most likely would have to go to Insert, or I can't remember it, but Insert Chart, or you probably have a chart tab on your ribbon also. Once you locate this chart, you select column, because that's what they ask for, and click clustered column. And there are some things that I want you to note. You notice that Excel was smart enough to grab the heading here and give that to your table, because that is what the table is about. It's the total cases sold for each quarter. You didn't have to type those. In addition to that, it grabbed the labels for each soft drink and it placed them here. Finally, it also put the numbers in, and that's what you were graphing. So that's your column chart. The next thing we have to do is plot a bar chart for the total profits. So the bar chart would be for all of these, the total profits. So we need to select all of the soft drinks again. This time we hold down the Control or Command key and we go to total profits and we drag all the way down to Gatorade. And this time we do not select column, we select bar. And we select clustered bar. And once again, Excel was able to be smart enough to put in the relevant headings for us. That would not have happened if we did not select the proper section on the table. All right, so let me just do a couple of things here. You could actually resize this. I'm going to resize this to make it fit there. Resize this to make it fit here. Right. And the last instruction is that you need to save this as profit field into your folder that you would have created on your desktop. I didn't create a folder, so I would just simply save this straight to my desktop. So I'll go to File, Save As, and locate my desktop. Okay, let me put it in the 2011 tutorial. No, you don't want it. Okay, I'll leave it in there and I'll call it chocolate sales. showcase right type slowly. We save that, and that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you were able to follow along. If you have any problem, feel free to contact me. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.